Let's talk about a piece of leadership advice you've heard a million times. The one that's so common we just accept it as truth. But what if it's the very thing that's quietly sabotaging your most important projects? Okay, let's get into it. I mean, think about that for a second. When things get hard, what's the go-to move? Stay positive, rally the troops, find that silver lining. We're taught that this is how you lead through a struggle. But this whole idea of the pain cave suggests that this advice isn't just a little off, it's a trap. It's a trap that actively burns the fuel you need to actually win. All right, so let's really dig into why this advice, this positive thinking mantra, is so incredibly flawed when the stakes are high and you're in the middle of a real fight. I mean, this is leadership 101, right? It's the standard playbook. The project hits a wall, morale takes a nosedive, and the leader is supposed to jump in with some big, rah-rah speech. Tell everyone to look on the bright side, keep smiling, and just push through. It's what you see in the movies, it's what they teach you in business school. And here is the question that just flips the whole script. What if all that effort you spend trying to pretend things are fine, trying to force a smile when it feels awful, what if that's a colossal waste of energy? What if that energy is the very last bit of fuel you have to solve the actual problem? To really get this, we're going to step out of the boardroom for a minute. We're going to a place where suffering isn't just part of the game, it is the game, the world of ultra-endurance sports. So, the pain cave, it's not just about being a little tired. Now, this is a state of total physical and mental breakdown. It's that dark place in a race where every single cell in your body is screaming at you that what you're doing is completely illogical and that you need to stop right now. And what's really fascinating is when the pain cave shows up. It's usually not at the beginning, and it's not right at the finish line when you can taste victory. It hits you when you're about 3/4 of the way done. All your reserves are gone, but that finish line, man, it still feels a million miles away. Every rational part of your brain is sounding the alarm. The tank is empty. Your muscles feel like they're tearing. The logical, sensible, self-preserving thing to do is to just give up, to make the pain stop. And this is where you see the huge difference between the amateur and the pro. The novice gets into the pain cave and immediately tries to positive think their way out. They tell themselves, I feel great, I'm strong. They actively fight the feeling of suffering. And in that fight, they burn the last of their energy and they fail. The veteran? They do the exact opposite. They don't try to escape. They accept it. They say, okay, here we are. And they settle in, conserving every single drop of mental energy to just endure. So what on earth does a cyclist in agony have to do with your quarterly strategy review? Well, it turns out, everything. Because every major business transformation has its very own pain cave. I bet this timeline looks pretty familiar. Month 1 is all that kickoff hype and energy, everyone's excited. By month 3, you start feeling some friction. The new way starts grinding against the old way. But the real moment of truth, the corporate pain cave, usually hits around month 6. And that's when you hit the wall. This is the point where something called the organizational governor kicks in. You know, like a governor on an engine that keeps it from redlining. Your organization has one too. It senses the stress and discomfort of change, and it sends out these powerful signals to try and get you to stop before something breaks. And here's what those signals look like in real life. The initial excitement is completely gone. The big results you promised, they haven't shown up yet. The old ways of doing things, the legacy systems, they're fighting back with a vengeance. And all of this creates this incredible amount of organizational noise. Suddenly there's panic, rumors are flying everywhere, and the complaints become a constant background roar. But listen, this noise isn't just random grumbling. It's a biological-like response. It's called homeostasis. It is your organization's deep, primal need to get back to what feels safe and predictable. It's the corporate immune system trying to kill the virus of change so it can stop the pain. And this right here, this is the graveyard where most strategies go to die. The noise, the pressure, it just becomes unbearable. And to make it stop, leaders break. They start to compromise. They water down the strategy, they push back the deadlines, they basically kill the whole transformation. Not because the plan was bad, but because they couldn't stand the heat. So if fighting the pain and trying to stay positive is the rookie mistake, what's the veteran leader's move? If positive thinking is a trap, what actually works? The answer is actually an ancient idea. It's a concept from Vedantic philosophy called Nirvana. It roughly translates to detached awareness.
Now, this isn't about not caring. It's the opposite. It's about shifting your entire perspective from being in the chaos to observing the chaos.
This makes the difference crystal clear. The typical leader gets caught up in the stress. Their internal monologue is, "This is a disaster, we're going to fail." They become the storm. The Nirvitha leader, on the other hand, watches the storm. They see the same facts, but their observation is, okay, there's high friction, the team is feeling anxious. They notice the stress instead of reacting to it. It's a subtle but absolutely game-changing shift.
So how do you actually do this? How do you take this powerful mindset and turn it into a real, practical survival strategy? You learn to furnish the cave. Step 1, you just stop. Stop trying to run from the pain or pretend it isn't there. Step 2, you accept it. You acknowledge, okay, we are in the pain cave, and we're probably going to be here for a while. And step 3, the most important one, you stop wasting precious energy trying to force yourself or your team to feel good about a situation that, frankly, sucks.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Real, meaningful transformation is supposed to be hard. It's uncomfortable by its very nature. The goal isn't to feel happy all the time. The goal is to get comfortable with the discomfort, to learn how to operate in the dark, because that's where the work gets done.
So the whole thing boils down to this one crucial mental flip. You have to stop becoming the stress. You have to see the panic, the rumors, the friction, not as a personal attack or a sign of failure, but as predictable data coming from a system that's under pressure. You stop being the stress, and you become the calm observer of it. That's where all your power is.
Because at the end of the day, there aren't any shortcuts. You can't just positive think your way past the hardest parts. You can't compromise your way out of it without giving up on the goal. You have to conserve your energy, accept the reality of the struggle, and just endure. Because when you find yourself in the pain cave, the only way out is through.